everyone, welcome to Cancer Healing Journey Talks. Myself Shruti Dapke from Community Outreach Team of Zenonco.io and Love Heals Cancer. Cancer Healing Journey Talks helps cancer survivors and caregivers to share their journey with vast number of survivors and caregivers who have traveled or been traveling through cancer. This can inspire and motivate them for their faster recovery as well. Firstly, I would like to introduce today's speaker, Ms. Rachna. She is a cancer volunteer as well as a caregiver. I'm happy that you're here with us today. Over to you, ma'am. Please share your journey. Please start with the introduction.
Thank you. I'm Rachna, and I have been doing social work since the last 10.5 years. Since the last 6-7 years, I have been going to AIIMS. I started helping children. We get a lot of cancer children who are suffering from cancer. So like I would say at least 70-80% of the children that I'm still looking after are going through cancer. My first 3 children that I picked up there when I started doing my social work there, all of them are dead. And the girl among them, she died in my arms. It changed my life in many ways. And that's it. Since then, I have been looking after children. And then I started looking after the disabled, then the elderly. And now I look after anybody who comes to me with whatever illness.
So when did you decide to you'll go into this, be a volunteer?
Like I was myself a patient of depression, clinically diagnosed, like 12 years back or something. I was on pills, and as therapy, I was sent to the Lodi Road Blind School. I worked as a volunteer there for 4 or 5 years. And the last year that I had been working there, I was doing both the blind school and AIIMS both. But then I started realizing the blind children needed me a lot, but they were not suffering from any major illnesses. And so slowly, like it was 4 days in the blind school and 1 day at AIIMS, slowly it started reversing. Till one day I stopped going altogether. But still I look after blind girls. I have adopted a blind girl, not legally, but otherwise. So if I get a call from the school, I still go and help out.
Okay, great. And are there some fun stories of when you were in that blind school?
Oh yeah, there was this new admission, Chintu. And new admissions are very tough because they have to live there without their parents. And Chintu did not have parents. He was living with his grandmother. And he didn't know our language and we didn't know his language. And he stopped eating altogether. So I made it a mission that I can't let Chintu die like that. And there was a time when I really wanted to adopt him, but my husband didn't allow that. And slowly he started responding to me. And one fine day when we were playing on the swings and I was looking the other way, he needed to relieve himself. And because he was new to the school and he did not know the rules, when I felt wet on my legs and I saw he was relieved because he could not see the direction. That is one fun moment I would always remember. Yeah. I still go and put him there.
So with the cancer patients and survivors, how do you deal with it?
See, first thing I have realized, I can't stop anybody from dying. I am not God.
Yeah.
What I can do, whether they survive or not, I can make their journey comfortable.
Yes.
And I have learned when the doctors at AIIMS say, take the child home, that means send the child home. He or she does not have much days. But this has been a gradual learning. When I started this, I thought I could save lives. And then I thought, if the doctor has said, take the child home, we will keep trying till the last moment. But with experience, I learned that they are more experienced than I am.
Wow.
So when a doctor says, take the child home, all I can do is fulfill all the last wishes, make the child's family comfortable,
Right.
and make sure till the child survives back home, they are comfortable. And even if the child does not survive, then the parents and the siblings, they need a lot of emotional strength. This is what I do. I encourage them to go back to normal life. Many of them have given birth to new children. So we become a family, we look after each other. And if the child survives, then I start their tuitions back home. And with the new year, they have to go to school.
Right.
So when the new year commences, they get admitted and we send the fees and everything that is needed, the medicines, and they have to come back here for follow-up. We are prepared with the funds and everything so that the follow-up is done within a week or so. And if all goes well, they are back home within a week or maximum 2 weeks.
Right. So when did you realize that the power of giving and sharing with people?
When did I realize? It has been a very gradual process. It was, now when I think of it, maybe I was destined to do that because I was a typical South Indian, very social woman. I used to have a lot of fun and had hundreds of friends. Right now, I don't have a single friend because I don't have the time and the energy left now. So it has been very gradual. But then I believe if the change was not very fast, that is why I have sustained it. I have seen many, many people who decide one day to become a social worker and within 3 months they fizz out.
Yeah.
So I did not do that, and that's it. And then now I realize I'm not a giver. I'm just a medium. You are the privileged class. They are the underprivileged class. I am just a bridge between the two of you.
Great.
So, and who am I to give anything?
Yeah, but
except for my time and my love and care. But at the end of the day, money does matter. Everything depends on money.
Yes. Money is not the most important thing, but it is not the least important thing
but
either.
When anybody is going through an illness,
yeah,
I think
that's
money is the most important thing.
Yeah. It depends on the situation as well.
I can take care of their emotions. I can take care of their families. But if I'm not able to give them medicines or provide them with the tests or provide them with a stay here, these are the three first, our priorities. These are the three priorities. Then what is the use of my care and love?
Yeah. Like if there is no treatment, they will be sad either way.
So I understand the importance of the privileged class. But as I say, लेने वाले भी बने रहें और देने वाले भी बने रहें. देने वाला नहीं होगा तो लेने वाला बेकार है, और लेने वाले भी नहीं होंगे तो आप देंगे किसको?
Right.
तो मैं उन दोनों का सिर्फ ब्रिज हूँ. एंड जैसा देश वैसा भेष. जब मैं प्रिविलेज क्लास के साथ हूँ तो मैं उनके जैसे हूँ, और जब मैं अपने लोगों में यहाँ जाती हूँ मैं उनके जैसे हूँ. देयर इज नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन देम एंड मी. Whichever class you put me, I just gel in.
Right. And ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि like आपको बस ऐसा बस हो गया, like I can't do this anymore, because there have been extreme cases like you have seen.
Many times when a child dies, I also go through hell.
Yeah.
Like in our family, when there is a death, हम लोग कढ़ाई नहीं चढ़ाते हैं 13 दिन. Whenever a child dies, हमारे घर में अभी अब कढ़ाई नहीं चढ़ती है 13 दिन. It is I have nurtured that child, looked after that child, and the saddest part is when we send them home. Only the news comes in. Maybe sometimes it comes in after a day, 2 days, a week, or even a month. It's up to the parents. I am left alone here to go through that pain, and sometimes I don't even get time to grieve for them because I have so much to do.
Right.
So it's not easy when a child dies, because I believe every child should live a life. I have lived my life. I would give my life for any one of the children. My own children are settled. I have seen a very good life, a very comfortable life. I'm ready to go. But not just like that. If I could save a life and given a chance, I would go. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, when we see a 2 or 3 years old die, like we even think like, what has he done or she done, like to go through hell like
There are
this?
children who are born with cancer.
Oh my God.
So you go through so much of personal trauma, so much of questioning your faith, asking the, like we believe if we are suffering, it is because of our karma. But what karma has that newborn baby done in this life?
Yeah.
And if we are told it is past life, who has seen a past life or a future life?
Yes.
It is only right now, only today is the
Yeah,
day
it
that
is what present is.
Yeah. So there is so much I have seen, like the eyes taken away if they are born with eyes cancer. I have seen amputations of a body part. I have seen a lot. I have seen swollen eyes, nose, very ugly sides. I have seen baldness a lot. So for a child, I really feel a lot. If I was given a chance to live, so should all the children.
Yes.
So everything, sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it does not. Maybe someday all will make sense. I have no
we
idea.
Never know.
Never know. I'm just living one day at a time.
Yes. And what's really, like you said, like you felt like giving it up like many times, but then what's keeping you going on? Like
all the deaths that I have gone through, all the amputations I have gone through, that keeps me going. Every death I make myself promise I'm going to work more.
Yeah.
Presently, I work at least 15 hours a day.
Wow.
And I have a lot of health issues. I can barely walk. But I am determined to do it. So with every death, I promise myself I am going to work more, reach out to more children, more people, be it either class, because I need the privileged class also.
Yes.
If I am socializing or giving an interview, I am working right now.
Yeah.
So for me, and it is always work, and now I can barely sleep. You will always see me online till 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not easy to sleep.
Right.
It's like exhaustion can drop you dead. But if you think you will just lie on your pillow and you'll go off to sleep, it does not happen to me anymore.
Yeah, there's something going on in the head always.
And here I would like to say something. Like I told you, my daughter has done masters in psychology. So she told me all the counselors, they are taught that they should get counseling done once a month.
Oh.
And so should social workers. It's very important.
I think every human must go and like see
but she told me that they are taught in their class
Mm-hmm.
that these type of people who do a lot of social work
Yeah.
and the counselors, they should get minimum one counseling every
Every
month.
month. Yeah.
Minimum. Otherwise, two is the proper thing to do. So I get it done once a month. It really helps me. It really does. वापस focus आ जाता है. मिल जाता है ना. And thankfully, like I said, I see miracles every day. Now I just need to manifest. So if I manifest, I need a counselor who will not charge me. I need a lawyer who would not charge me.
So do you think manifestation really
yes,
works?
If you are going through a court case and you want the judge to fall in love with you, in the right sense that he likes everything you are telling, because
so it is
what,
like law of attraction only, right?
Yeah, I can manifest anything right now. So
do you have a technique or something for that, or like you just think of it? And
I do.
Okay, would you like to share?
Yeah, sure. You just don't need to do anything. Like I need a lot of me time. So night is my me time. I'm not a mother. I am not a social worker. I am not a daughter, anything, not a wife. It is only me. During that me time, whenever I am feeling happy from inside, for that I mostly play on the Yo-Yo Honey Singh songs. It really gives me joy. So when I start feeling happy, then I just, whatever position I am comfortable in, I lie down and I visualize that scene.
That is going to happen.
Yeah,
Visualize that.
Like if I wanted an interview with you, I would visualize this.
Right.
And I can't visualize what you are wearing or you are looking. It's a rough figure, but I can visualize myself. So
Okay.
I'm very particular what I'm wearing, what nail paint I am doing, everything. And I visualize it night after night. So every night you can add something to it. And very soon it really does happen. And that is my technique. I haven't read it anywhere or something, but it always happens.
Yeah.
Like the last visualization I did, we were struggling a lot with the MRI scans and the PET scans and all that. Like I could barely get one MRI and CT scan done. PET scan still I'm not doing because of the funds. So this thought came to me, if I can visualize so much, and then why can't I visualize we get all this for free? Somebody comes to us and says, yeah, I'm ready to give it to you for free. And you won't believe me, barely 5 days had passed. Somebody approached me and it's been more than a month now. So we are getting all MRIs, CT scans, ultrasound, blood test, COVID vaccine.
Wow.
Free of cost.
That's amazing.
So, it really is.
Yeah. The magic of universe.
Yeah. So then I have realized that when your intention is very pure, then the universe will give back.
Right.
So barely I visualize something for myself. It's
always, it is basically for others.
But I do visualize for myself also. I would not lie. Like once in 6 months, I'm also human. I would want something.
Yeah, that's true.
Visualize for myself also, and it works the same way.
Yes.
So that's it.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So for the last 10 years, I have survived without doing any paperwork. Because I have realized that these people who are coming from far off villages, they are not educated. And as it is, they go through a lot of trauma. When they get their treatments in AIIMS, they can't even read the sign languages. So I made it a mission. I will not do paperwork. But as God willing, 6 months back, AIMS gave me room, hall, whatever you can call, to run as a center in the Vishram Sadan. That is the Dharamshala of AIMS.
Okay.
And now I get so many patients. So last 2 months I was struggling. I could not remember about everybody.
Right.
So just around the 10th of this month, I started doing paperwork. And I would love to share with you.
Yeah, sure.
So I would tell you only about cancer patients.
Okay.
Children who have cancer. Okay.
So you're a volunteer for people, like not people, children's, right? Basically, mainly children.
Everybody. Anybody can come to me for anything at all. If I'm able to help, I will help. If I'm not able to help, I tell them I'm sorry about it. But then we give it a try. Like for a child surgery, recently we collected around 5.63 lakhs. For another child, we collected 35,000. So this keeps going. It's the child's destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we keep doing that all the time. And yeah. So Naira, she's on her deathbed right now. She's only 1 year old.
Only one?
Only one. She was born with cancer in her eyes. Her mother is totally uneducated. And when I say uneducated, I don't mean that they are not able to read or write. Education gives our brain some training. Our thought process becomes better. When I say uneducated, and because they did not have good nutrition as they were children, their understanding power and grasping power is not as good as we have.
Yeah.
So her mother has these issues. Even if you tell her something 10 times, it's not the language that she's not able to understand. She's not able to hold it.
Okay. Maybe she has like the power issues.
Yeah, her mind is not trained to hold it.
Okay.
So this is an issue that I always faced with her. Sometimes I get upset also. But mostly I keep my patience. So right now, Naira was shifted to Safdarjung yesterday from AIMS. And this is another thing that I have learned: when AIMS thinks that the child has very less chances of survival, they refer it to Safdarjung. So for me, that's a red flag that she has been sent to Safdarjung. Since yesterday, she's there. And everybody that I know, I sent them a message, around 500 people, that we should pray to relieve her of her suffering. Either way.
Can you please explain a little bit?
Either way is either relieve her of the pain that she needs to get operated, but because she is underweight, she was 6. The doctor said she needs to be at least 9 kgs. I gave her a sack full of ration and everything that I could do, but turned out she has become 4 kgs now. So the operation is not happening soon.
Right.
All right. So either way, now whatever way got things, either she gets treated, or maybe it's time for her to pass on. Either way, she should be released. All right.
Okay.
So everybody is praying for her since yesterday morning. God knows what will happen to her. And like, I have started feeling anxious about it. I started feeling sad. Last night was a very difficult night for me. Not knowing when, and because I can't walk, I can't visit the hospitals. Government hospitals have long corridors and everything. So all I can do is talk on the phone.
On call.
And whatever they need, I get it. I give it to them promptly. Like yesterday, she needed injections. She was giving the injections. Whatever they 24/7, they can call me anytime. Then I have Virat Kumar, who is only 11 months old. He also has eyes cancer. He was born with eyes cancer. So he has one elder sister also who has cancer. She's Bhumika. I think she is 13 months old.
13 years?
No, 3 years, sorry.
3 years.
Bhumika is 3 years old. She has eyes cancer also. And then her mother has cancer also.
Are you?
Really? If you ever want to meet them when they are back in Delhi, you are most welcome to meet them. His mother's name is Rinki Devi. Sister's name is Bhumika. So 11 months and 3 years. I look after the 3 of them. Then I have Bhanu. If you see Bhanu, you will really be very saddened.
Okay.
He is 11 years old. He can't move his body. He is paralyzed also, I think. And he has cancer only since the last 5 months. Or he was diagnosed.
Which cancer?
This I haven't written.
Okay.
It's blood. So no, it's blood cancer.
Oh.
So he has parents, and Bhanu studies in class 6, and he has 3 other siblings. Okay. So I'm looking after him also. Really, really very sad case. He's a beautiful looking boy. I have Abhiyansh Rai. He's only 3 months old. He also has eyes cancer. I haven't written about his family though, so I can't tell you about that. Oh yeah, and there is Aarti. She's 3 years old. She has taken at least 6 months to respond to me. And I bribe the children a lot. Even then, she has taken 6 months to respond to me. But with my care and love, now she has started playing around. She has become the naughtiest child that I have ever known. She is a handful now. Sometimes I wonder, did I do wrong? Because she makes my life very tough. But I'm happy to see her running around and playing.
Yeah.
So she has cancer in the kidneys.
Oh.
And she is 3 years old. She has a 8-month-old baby brother and parents. They have been living here since the last 1.5 years. Since I know them, maybe they might be living here for more than that. Then I have Anushka. She is 4.7 years old. She has cancer in her stomach. She has 1 sister, 1 brother, grandparents, and parents. Her chemotherapy is going on presently. Then I have Ayush Verma. He is only 6 months old. He has cancer in the urinary tract. And he has 2 sisters also. So, and I'm telling you, this paperwork I started around 10th August. It has not been a month yet.
Oh my God.
This file that I'm maintaining is around the Independence Day. So if I would have done paperwork since the last even
hardly 15 days. And
these
so
are
many
my
cases.
Yes, those who have gone home, now when they will come back, then I'll put them in the file. And I'm only telling you cancer patient.
There are so many others.
And then there is Ansh. He is 1 year and 13 months old. He has cancer. He was operated on 23rd June. He has cancer since birth and is being treated since he was 5 months old. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, we hear so many cases and like I feel very sad for them, but I don't know how you do this.
This is my only children's file. This is the adults file. I still haven't opened it for you.
Yeah, there will be so many.
So many patients.
Yeah.
Why I told you in the beginning, at least 70-80% of the patients coming here, they all are referred cases, and everybody should be aware that before they come here, they have been getting treatments back home for 3 months, 6 months, sometimes 2 years also. Then they are referred here, and somehow they do land up here, and then without a penny in their pockets, thinking that they will be taken care of. But sadly, government hospital is only giving the OPD free and operations free for BPL card holders.
Oh,
The
okay.
rest, yeah, the rest you have to pay. So if you don't have a BPL card, which is another story, not everybody can get a BPL card made, because this is India. For everything, you have to give something. But if
Yeah.
you are so poor, you are not even able to give that something. So you don't get a BPL card. Okay.
Okay.
So and everything else you have to pay for here also, including your stay. So people like us should be aware of this dark world. Just thinking they are being looked after by the government is the easy way out. They are not being looked after by anybody.
Yeah.
So just make that aware. And I keep telling everybody, it's not, I'm not asking anybody to come to me or come to AIMS or, only give us everything. I understand commuting is a big problem, especially if housewives like me, they decide to, come out of the house. So just come to me for 2-3 times. I have made a process. I spent around 2-3 years learning and making a process. I can teach it to you within 2-3-4 times. Then you go back. There is a government hospital in every locality. You did not come
Yes.
to it. Just start working there. From once a week, like I used to do, you can start doing once a week. And slowly, people around you will start understanding that you are asking, you are a genuine person, and they will start reciprocating. And I even give them the option till people understand you are a genuine person and start reciprocating. If they start doing this in their area, and if they need support, I will support you. So if I am looking after 10 patients, if I create a 10 more Rachna, then we are looking after 110 patients.
Yeah.
So that is it.
Yes. Okay, then thank you so much.
And one last thing I would like to make everybody aware, that when these parents of these children, they really don't have any money. I agree some of them are greedy and not needy. That you come to realize after a month or two. You will realize that. All right. And then but it is not the children's fault.
Yeah, that's
So you at least to help them with whatever medically is needed. Those who are not greedy but are very needy, then you start helping them with toys and clothes, whatever you can,
Yes.
And I'm not asking for new toys or new clothes. Whatever you want to discard, you send it to us. It is for them, that is also a treasure.
Yeah.
All right. But everybody should understand two things. Make giving a way of your life. For example, if you buy your groceries once a month, your ration, just if I am buying for 5,000, I can buy for 500 extra. Make it a habit. Give it to somebody needy. All right.
Yes.
If you are going to the movies twice a month, you can do it once a month. But then don't keep that money for yourself. Go and help out. Even if you start helping with 10 rupees or 50 rupees per day, that is good.
Yeah, sure.
I insist on money because money is the most precious thing these days, especially during COVID and after COVID. All right. So part with something that is very precious with you, and in return, you will start an inner journey. And there will come a day when you would want to give everything you have, like I have done. When my daughters come to visit me, they have to bring their own pillows. I don't even have extra pillows now. I've given everything away. All right.
Yeah.
One thing is, and second thing is that every child who has cancer and whose parents are penniless needs maximum 10,000 rupees a month to survive beautifully.
Oh, wow.
All right. You can adopt a child for a month. You can adopt a child for 6 months, all up to you. I said on an average, sometimes 1 month we have spent 6,000 on the child, but next month the child needs an MRI. Now I am getting the MRI and CT scans free. Otherwise, if you need to get some scans done or something, on an average, it's only 10,000. It's not much for people like us. Do that somewhere. I'm not, मैं अपनी publicity नहीं कर रही हूँ. मैं तो एक, like in the sea, I'm just a drop.
Yeah.
And India is a sea of poverty, of suffering. Corruption.
That's true.
And yeah, corruption itna hai. Incompetence. There are so many battles to fight. The least we could do is help somebody fight for their life or the life of their loved ones. ये आप घर बैठे सब कर सकते हो. ऐसा कोई नहीं है जो नहीं कर सकता है.
हाँ, ऐसा सब सोचने लग गए तो कहाँ ही जाएगा देश.
I started my journey. I'm a very middle class woman. I started my journey. I took 5,000 from my husband, which I barely, I think, हफ्ता 10 दिन में मेरे खत्म हो गए थे. And I was one person when I was going through tough times. I never even went back to my mother to ask for help. So asking people to help is the most difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Till you realize कि भिक्षुक का जो हमारे परंपरा चली आ रही है वो भिक्षुक क्या होता है, जो सुबह भी खाना मांगने जाता है, शाम को भी खाना मांगने जाता है. वो भिक्षुक वाली फीलिंग आ जाती है अंदर कि अब आप भिक्षुक हो चुके हैं. इट इज नॉट फॉर यू. तो वो एंड आपका ईगो तो जीरो हो ही चुका है, बिकॉज नॉट एवरीबडी इज वेरी पॉजिटिव. लोग सुना भी देते हैं, बोल भी देते हैं, सब कुछ हो जाता है, बट यू नेवर आंसर बैक बिकॉज इट इज नॉट वर्थ इट.
राइट
ना. So आपका ईगो
एनर्जी वेस्ट ऑन पीपल.
इट इज एक्चुअली एनर्जी वेस्ट. तो आपका ईगो भी जीरो हो चुका है, आप अंदर से भिक्षुक भी बन चुके हैं. अब आपको ना हिमालय जाना है ना कहीं जाना है, आपका इनर जर्नी है. एट व्हाट प्राइस? 500 रुपए महीना, 1000 रुपए महीना, वॉट एवर यू कैन स्पेयर, गिव इट समवेयर. And that is why my NGO's name is Givers for a Cause. But give it for a cause.
Yeah.
And follow up. आपका हार्ड अर्न मनी वेस्ट नहीं जाना चाहिए. तो करना आपकी ड्यूटी. ऐसा गीता में भी लिखा है कि अगर आप किसी को डोनेट कर रहे हैं एंड इफ यू डोंट फॉलो अप यू आर कमिटिंग अ सिन. आप देखिए तो सही आपकी चीज, आपका सामान, आपका पैसा गया, उस तक पहुंचा कि नहीं पहुंचा.
हाँ,
सिर्फ देना इज हाफ द जॉब. करिए एंड देखिए इस दुनिया में इतने अच्छे काइंड सोल्स हैं, इतने हैं. जैसे ही आप करने लगेंगे, आप मैग्नेट के जैसे वो सब आपके पास चिपकने लगेंगे. You have such a beautiful. This is coming from a woman who did not want to live anymore. And now I want to be 100 because this is a beautiful life.
Yes, it is.
I have started valuing life when I see how much people fight for their lives.
Yeah, that's a very important line you said.
Yeah, I really wanted to give up on my life. I even tried it. All right. But now when I see, even with, limbs amputated, with people going blind, I'm talking about adults also. I had one cancer patient, he died 6 months back or something. All 4 of his limbs were amputated. Still he wanted to live. How could I give up on this life?
Yeah, we have everything and we think of...
And I feel so blessed. My children are healthy, touch wood to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is so much that you get after giving.
Yes.
So keep giving, and together we will fight, we will keep fighting. And we have a lot of cancer survivors just because they were given timely medication, timely treatments. Emotionally, they were looked after. They are encouraged. They are given hope. We have so many survivors.
Yeah.
And maybe in the next interview, I'll tell you this little girl Naira also survived.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And thank you for giving me this
opportunity.
No,
Thank you.
Even if one privileged class person is inspired to help in any which way because of what I have said, I think our mission is accomplished.
Yes, surely.
And much love to you.
Okay, then thank you so much. It was wonderful having you here today, and I'm sure this has really inspired people out there. And be a volunteer and just to give to everyone, like just share.
Keep doing that.
Yes.
You will do wonders when you are at my age.
I hope so.
And I hope I live long enough to see that also.
Yeah, you will be there.
So thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.